Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to my show. My name is Sonia, and you are at Sonia Knows Sweets. Today, we will be making something that's in season, a strawberry rhubarb crisp. You can also make this into a pie if you like, if you prefer that, but I think I'd like to try some crisp today. I am making a triple batch today because I need to share some of this with some people. So my Uncle Clem is not here today. Again, he's having some personal stuff going on, so we're going to fly solo for a while until he can come back. But I'm going to make him some crisp too, and I think he'll like that. That's one of his favorite pies. And also, my daughter's friend Graylin, he gave me the rhubarb, so we're going to make him a little bit too. I have in my bowl here, let me see, 2 mounded cups of rhubarb, 2 mounded cups of strawberries. That would be for one batch. So I'm making a triple batch. Then you would need 1 cup of sugar for each batch, 1/4 cup of tapioca pudding, and the instant kind, or if you don't have that, you can use the cornstarch, but I like the tapioca. I like the texture that it gives to the pie. And just a little bit less than 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. So you want to mix the strawberries, rhubarb, sugar, and nutmeg and tapioca all in a bowl. And when you first do, it's going to be really grainy. The sugar's going to be falling everywhere, but that's okay. You've got to let it sit. So this has been sitting for probably about 45 minutes to an hour. So you want to start a little bit earlier. This is what it looks like now. See how it's the sugar is melting, all the juices are coming out of the fruit, and that's going to be really good in the pie. The juices will get sucked up by the tapioca pudding, and it'll be nice and this is a great texture, just a great texture. So we've been letting that sit for a while. So we're going to put that aside so we can make our topping. So for your topping for one batch, we need 3/4 cup of flour, which I have in my bowl. To that, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of oatmeal. This is quick cook oatmeal, but you can use the regular oatmeal also. And we're going to add to that 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. You can use more or less depending on what you like. And we're just going to mix that up. Mix it up with your hands. So that's all mixed up. This is what it looks like. Not crumbly yet. Now to that, we're going to add 1 stick of butter, softened. So there we have the butter. And to that, we're just going to mix that in until it's like crumbly. And again, I'm just going to use my hands. So you want to just squish everything together. Squish it. You can use a pastry cutter if you want, but I kind of like getting my hands in there. Like being a little kid making a mud pie. And you want to make sure everything's mixed in well. All the flour and oatmeal have a little bit of butter on it. That's what's going to make it crispy. This is the same topping I used for the gluten-free apple crisp. And this can be made gluten-free too. Everything I'm making can be made gluten-free. Just substitute the gluten-free flour for regular flour. Your strawberries and rhubarb, I cut that in like little chunks. So maybe about 1/2 inch, like 1/2 inch chunks. Same for the rhubarb. Some of the rhubarb was pretty big, but I just cut it up, in little bite-sized pieces. You want it to try to do it as evenly sized as possible so it cooks uniformly. So this is what it looks like. It's going to be all combined. Little bit chunky. You can chunk it up, mush it. It's all good. All right, let's clean off my hands here. My oven is preheating to 425 degrees. So I have 3 separate containers. 2 of these little metal, 9-inch metal pie plates. We're going to put the strawberries and rhubarb mixture in those 2. Those are going to be delivered. And this is going to be mine. So let's divide that up. Pretty heavy. I got 3 batches here. You want to kind of divide it up evenly. And you don't have to get all of the juice. All right, so that's what that looks like in the pan. You can see the juices in there. But like I said, the tapioca is going to take care of that. It's going to be delicious. So now we're just going to take our topping and crumble it on the top. Nice little crunchy texture in there with the juicy fruit. It's going to be delicious. All right. There you have it. Now that was really easy. I mean, the hardest part of that really is just cutting up your fruit. Ooh, got a lonely strawberry here. Cutting up your fruit. And even that didn't take too long. This whole thing probably takes not even an hour to get prepped to do this part. So it's really not that involved. But ooh, it's worth the effort. It's worth the effort. All right, I'm going to stick these in the oven. Okay, I'm going to clean up my mess and we will be back as soon as that's done. Probably about, I'm going to check it at about 30 minutes. So 35 to 45 minutes, depending on how your oven is calibrated. Some ovens run hotter than others. All right, I've taken the rhubarb strawberry crisp out of the oven. I actually had to turn the temperature down a little bit. I turned it down to 375 degrees because it was cooking a little too fast on the top and the inside wouldn't have been cooked. So I would set your oven at 375. That should be fine. And that was about 25-30 minutes in the oven. So this is what it looks like. Still pretty hot, but that's what it looks like. Now it's still a little bit, it was bubbly around the edges, golden brown. Now we just need to let it sit and cool off because the liquid in there is still, the juices are still a little bit liquidy, and they will get thicker as it cools. So we have to wait. But that's it for today. Next week I have had a request for cinnamon coffee cake, so that's what we'll be making next week. So whoever it was that suggested that, tune in next week and you'll see that for you. Have a great day, everyone, and thanks for stopping by.